Hello my fellow quilters, welcome to my new YouTube channel. This is my first video, so please be patient. Let me introduce you to what my channel will be all about. First of all, I love quilting. I like other crafts too, but I love quilting. I'm going to show you my sewing room. It is a mess, and by looking around my sewing room, you will see some of the things that we will be talking about on this channel later on. I will always try to keep it short and sweet. Sometimes I'll have advice. You can take it or not. It's up to you. Behind me, you see where I display a quilt on my door to my sewing room. And behind me, you see the Singer treadle that I own that my mother-in-law gave me. I don't remember the year. That will be another different episode. Like I said, this is not a professional video. This is the first video I've ever made. So we are in my quilt room. It is the largest room in my house because my husband loves me and wants to watch football in peace. And the lighting isn't always the best because it's way up there and it's very bright. It's a shop light way up there. There's the door we just came in. And there's the Iron Lady, the singer, sitting there. And here is my main bookcase. A very nice piece of furniture. And you'll notice I have a little bit of a book problem. I love quilting books of all kinds. This is the pile of quilt tops that I need to actually quilt and get done and give away as gifts. And now that I'm retired, I have time to do that, and we'll be talking about that in future episodes too. Here is a quilt that belonged to my grandmother. I know it is not hung up there in the best way. It's not meant for display. It's sad need of, well, I don't even think I'll be able to repair it. I think it's something that I'm going to have to replicate and save a couple pieces and give it back to my sister. And she's happy with whatever, but you can see that it is deteriorated and falling apart. The lining is destroyed and it just needs some help. So we'll be talking about that process too. And here's my thread wall, because I do have an embroidery machine and I do like to match threads. Up top, there's some of my fabric. The little bins of fabric, and there are projects. Each one of those boxes contains an unfinished project, something that we can work on and work through. I also have other bins of fabric, and last year during retirement I sorted fabric and put things away, and so this year I need to do some more intense shuffling and cleaning. Behind my design wall, there are more bins of fabric on shelves. And there are more project bins and more fabric bins. And they need to be a little more organized. I also have an AccuQuilt Go cutter that will play into some of the projects that I do with you. I started to develop some arthritis-y issues, and I love to cut shapes and cut fabric, but that has saved me quite a bit. I have a nice little Singer sewing machine, a white Singer sewing machine, and I have my grandmother's sewing machine. I loved her dearly. We will talk about these little beauties later. They are foundation pieced blocks, and I have a whole series in my head waiting to share with you on those type blocks. Here's another rescue quilt that was my grandmother's. This one is in a little bit better shape. It mostly needs binding and a couple patches. And like I said, we will walk through that process together also. I know that this looks like quite a mess. I just got back from a quilt retreat, so I'm cleaning up, putting away, straightening out. There's more of those quilt tops that need put together or binding put on them. There's probably 12, 15 projects that are close to completion there. And if I turn you around, you can see that I have a Juki machine on a, well, it's covered with junk, a Gracie frame to do some quilting. I have a few more things to show you. On the back of my chair by my sewing machines, I have a jacket that I made years ago, and we'll talk more about that later too. It is a nice art piece that lives in my sewing space. And that's exactly what it is, an art piece. I have fabrics to make a Victorian crazy quilt over in those two drawers. Silks and satins and all kinds of fancy things. Oh, and you'll notice I was a 5th grade teacher, so I love minions. So the minions are hanging out there, and what teacher and student doesn't love a snow day? So there's Olaf too. I also, in these gray bins, have beads because I do like to make jewelry. That doesn't take a lot of spare time though. And there's some other things that I really like in my space, like sock monkeys and Raggedy Anns. And I like to have things to look at that inspire me. I'm a cluttery person, but normally that doesn't impede my creativity. But even this is too much of a stretch for me, and it's just a little bit too cluttery. So next time I am back in this space, I will be working on some organizing and straightening so we can get started with some creative projects. So let me wrap this up, and thank you for joining me for my short video, and I hope to be showing off some quilts next time we get together. You can friend me on Facebook. I have a group, We Are Quilters. I also have a blog, wearequilters.com, if you would like to read and see pictures that are posted there. Please remember to like my video and subscribe if you want to hear my voice some more and gather some of those pearls of wisdom that I just have to share. Have a nice day. Talk to you later.